Hello everyone. In today's video, I want to talk about stressors. Stressors. I want to touch stressors in this situation. We're talking about stimulus, situations, objects that trigger stress. Situations, objects that trigger stress. I want to stop it at that point. Then, two types of stressors: acute stress and chronic stress. This is where we discuss them. Although initially we have talked about eustress and distress as type of stress, that could be good one and bad one, still providing the same physiological responses, right? We have reviewed it in our previous videos. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to our video. But in this situation, to understand what we talk about when we talk about stressors, we're talking about those things that cause stress. So there are ones that we call the acute stress and chronic stress. You know, when you hear in medical terms, you hear acute situation. This disease is acute, all of those things. Most times you still see dictionaries will still want to emphasize on the severity of the situation as regards to acute, right? But I want to point it out that when we review the word acute in medical terms, in any scientific terms, we are not necessarily interested in the severity. Yes, the major thing acute connotes is the rate of occurrence. The rate of occurrence. Acute, it just happened fast, all of a sudden it happens, and that is what we call acute stress. Imagine when somebody has an accident and unplanned one of the legs was amputated. Imagine when somebody falls in a gutter. Imagine all of these things. These are the imagine you just passed and you saw a snake. You just imagine you saw a lion. All those kind of things. These are acute situations, and your body reacts to every acute stress through the autonomic nervous system pathway. This autonomic nervous system pathway is by Canon Walter was the first person that brought back about the fight or flight hormone that is pumped in your body by the sympathetic nervous system, which prepares you either to fight or flight. So that moment you saw the snake, it is that fight or flight hormone that was triggered by the adrenaline. The adrenaline, all of them pumps into your blood, energy, right? It comes up and you are able to fight or flight. Like the way you will fight a lion, you wouldn't believe you have the strength. Or the way you flight or fly, like fleeing from the lion, you will be surprised, like, do I have this athletic prowess, right? Okay, so that is the role of the autonomic nervous system in fighting through this acute stress that comes through this pathway. It is very adaptive in nature. It helps us to survive till death. That's why our forefathers were not killed by several situations, right? All of these things, even in your presentations, this adrenaline prepares you. So you find out that when you're after the exposure to those stress, the parasympathetic nervous system brings everything back and down, and you are calm again. So the second pathway, or the second type of stressor, or the pathway the stressors follow, is one I call the chronic stress pathway. That is the second one. This one, again, when you hear the word chronic, this disease is dangerous, it is terminal, it is, yes, all of them are correct, right? But please remember, it's also emphasizing on duration, elongated exposure, elongated stay in a sick bed or elongated exposure to that stress. This is the kind of pathway we are going to be talking about later. This particular one, whereas the acute stress pathway follow the what we call the adrenaline autonomic nervous system pathway, like we just reviewed, right? This chronic stress pathway follow chronic stress follow the what we call the HPA axis pathway, the hypothalamic pituitary adrenaline axis pathway, right? So which we will discuss in our next video. But you understand that the chronic stress, for example, include those women, for example, that wake up by 6, they are out for their job, coming back and they are held up by the go-slows and traffic jam on the road, and they are coming back by 11 p.m. By 6 a.m. they are out. They are coming back the next day by 11 p.m. Almost 5 to 6 days in a week. All right, and most of people that are engaging in kind of career path that is very stressful, or persons that are in relationships that are very toxic. These situations cannot but expose you to stress daily, both mentally and physically, right? So in our next video, we want to look at how all of this could lead to illness. Thank you, and please remember to subscribe, like, and share with your friends, and please give us comments at the comment box. And for any private chat or WhatsApp us on 070-322-61791, or email us at chidozie.obianyo.201176@unn.edu.ng. Thank you for watching.